Back on the Bernie and Sid show on WABC. We will speak to Dick Morris in a little bit, but very quickly on these emails that's not being covered, Sid, this San Bernardino thing, the Rachel Maddow, the guy in MSNBC, the Rachel Maddow-looking dweeb, Christopher Hayes.
Yeah.
He tweeted something, and one of Hillary's campaign flunkies, Karen Finney, she forwarded it to Podesta, talking about how the name of the San Bernardino shooter, his name was Saeed Farouk. So she forwards that with a comment saying, damn. In other words, damn, it was a Muslim causing the problems. And then John Podesta, her campaign manager, responds, better if a guy named Saeed Farouk was reporting that a guy named Christopher Hayes was the shooter. Can you believe that is so effing sleazy? And that doesn't get reported.
Well, Podesta wrote that, though, not Hillary, right?
Yeah, that's right. Her campaign manager. Can you remember all the stuff that Christopher, he grabbed the girl's arm?
Yeah.
Corey Lewandowski?
Yeah.
It wasn't Trump that did it. It was him. But still, Trump caught all the heat for it anyway.
Right, but Trump didn't fire him. And Trump didn't fire Paul Manafort either until we found out that he was taking money from the Russians.
I'm making a point. The media jumps on certain things.
I understand.
And this is particularly.
But I've seen this on Fox News.
This is so sleazy. Of course, on Fox News.
Well, okay, so. Listen, you know where to go to catch your stuff.
It's not catching my stuff. Everybody should know about this. This should be CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, MSNBC, every place. So you get it nowhere. On the New York
when
Times,
it's all
Washington
said
Post,
and done, in 3 weeks,
you get it nowhere.
When Donald Trump loses in 3 weeks, you can continue to bitch and complain that all the nasty, sleazy stuff was never reported.
All I wanted to do was vent about how sleazy these creeps are.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to do.
So now
it ain't about post-election. I just wanted to do that today.
Now you vented. It's a fair vent, and I'm telling you, when Donald Trump loses, and he will, he loses because of himself. Not the media, not Anderson Cooper, not the fact that CBS isn't reporting this. Because I got to tell you, every email that comes out from WikiLeaks, I'm a Hillary supporter. I don't care. I'm past that point, and all of us supporters are past that point. It's not like these emails are changing anybody's mind. It's not the media that's losing this election for Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump.
It's the Justice Department and the media.
It's Donald Trump.
And maybe some Trump too.
Maybe some Trump, right?
Listen. He's not doing himself favors by attacking the women that are accusing him.
Right.
But you have to admit, there's the media and the Justice Department and the FBI that with colluding with the Clintons.
The deck is stacked against him. I totally admit it. It's unfair. But he has done knowing that, he has done a horrible job, which says to me, his instincts that you are always pumping up, they suck.
On the issues, they're great.
Well, then talk about the issues. Maybe you have a chance to win.
Okay, let's do it.
Instead of attacking Paul Ryan.
Speaking of the issues, here is Noam with the news.
77 WABC. News now.
Yeah, and Trump says this race far from over. 72 Sunshine Midtown. Here's the story she'll be talking about. 77 WABC.
This is an Election Central 2016 update. WABC.
Republican strategists who do not work for Donald Trump's campaign sounding pessimistic about the GOP's nominee's chances of winning the election. They say Hillary Clinton has, as of now, a firm grip on the 270 Electoral College votes needed to prevail, and that Trump could end up with fewer than 200. Congressman Peter King, who was on with Imus this morning, says it's way too soon for his party to give up on Trump.
We need someone to shake things up, and I think at this time, he could serve a real purpose. And after the last 2 or 3 weeks, nobody took more hits than he did, and with all of that Washington Post poll Sunday only has him down 4 points.
Trump's latest hit against Clinton charges she might have been on drugs during the last debate, and he worries she'll be on performance-enhancing drugs for the third and final debate in Vegas come Wednesday.
I don't know what's going on with her, but at the beginning of her last debate, she was all pumped up at the beginning, and at the end, it was like, she could barely reach her car. So I think we should take a drug test. Anyway, I'm willing to do it.
Meanwhile, WikiLeaks, the group that has been releasing hacked email from the Clinton campaign, says access to the internet was disrupted today by what they called a state party, and it came just after WikiLeaks released its 9th batch of Clinton-related emails. They included information about how the candidate could appeal to black voters and deal with the media. Clinton campaign has suggested the Russian government has been supplying WikiLeaks with the emails, a claim both Moscow and WikiLeaks deny. Third final debate Wednesday night in Vegas. You can hear it here, 77 WABC at 9 o'clock. Then after it's over, your chance to weigh in on who won with Rita Cosby at 10:30. New Jersey Transit
WABC.
I can't make an excuse for Bill Clinton's conduct. And I wouldn't attempt to make any excuses for the conduct. But he paid a price for it. He paid a price. He was impeached.
Back on the Bernie and Sid show on WABC. That was Joe Biden saying that Bill Clinton paid a price for what he did he was impeached. He didn't pay a price for any of the women, for example, that Trump brought to the last debate. And he was impeached, but Joe Biden voted against impeachment, against convicting him after impeachment, I should say, for whatever that's worth. But on the line with us right now, Sidney, we have a noted author, and he's an author and a commentator. He used to work as a pollster and a campaign consultant, and he used to work for the Clintons, did Dick Morris. He's got a new book out. It's called Armageddon, How Trump Can Beat Hillary. Armageddon, How Trump Can Beat Hillary. Good morning, Dick Morris.
Good morning. Good to be here with you guys.
Nice to have you back. You were with us, Dick, a couple of months ago, and you were terrific, by the way. And at the time, it seemed like what you wrote about may, in fact, be a possibility. And you hate to wave the white flag. There's still a couple of weeks to go, but it doesn't seem as if there is any way Donald Trump can win this thing. You're going to tell me I'm wrong, but that's what it seems like right now, right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. He's 5 behind in the Real Clear Politics average, and that's not a landslide. If he does well on Wednesday night, he could put it back together. The disturbing thing here is that the damage to Trump has been done by Trump, and he just needs discipline. And in my book, I outline a very good strategy for someone who really wants to win. And I think Trump has. I mean, when he's confronted with the accusations of sexual groping, he says, "Have you looked at her? She's not pretty enough for me to grope." And right in the middle of it, he talks about standing behind Hillary and not being impressed. I mean, these are all funny lines for reality TV, but they're not good for a presidential candidate. While all this is happening, and the media is blacking everything else out, there were very damaging leaks coming forth about Hillary's emails. And particularly interesting is I think there is a silent, not so silent actually, propaganda war going on between Obama and Putin, where Obama is threatening Putin with cyber warfare, literally warfare, if he releases Hillary's hacked emails, if he releases the deleted emails that Hillary does not want us to see. I believe Putin probably has all those emails, and he's already released the Democratic Committee ones and a lot of Podesta's and Uma Abedin, and I think he's going to go on to releasing all of Hillary's emails.
All right.
And that'll completely put to rest Hillary's argument, which is that she didn't, our enemy couldn't hack them, because our enemy will show up at the door with all 33,000 of them. And I think that will clearly show how she jeopardized the national security. And I think what's going on now is Obama is trying to threaten Russia with cyber warfare not to release this stuff. And if they do release it, to say that this is Russia intervening in an American election, and they're hoping that that story offsets the damage that will be done by the release of the emails, by their content, and by the fact that our enemy got them all because our Secretary of State was an idiot about how she stored them.
Yeah, very interesting that you believe that Putin's going to release her deleted emails. That's keep hope alive, folks, is what I'm saying. Dick Morris is our guest. His book is Armageddon, How Trump Can Beat Hillary. Now, I will ask you, Dick Morris, you said that Trump is his own worst enemy, and that may be true, but you would agree, I think, that the system is rigged. The Justice Department, the media colluding with the Democrats, and if it was Marco Rubio or Jeb Bush, that Rubio would be a pedophile. Jeb Bush, they'd have him in a Mexican bordello or something. I mean, no matter who the Republican guy would be, they would have slaughtered him.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think the media is incredibly rigged and incredibly biased. But keep your eye on this Russian email thing. This is going to play out big time, because her entire campaign is based, her entire defense on emails is based on two assertions. I did not send or receive classified information, and my system was never hacked by a foreign power. Now it's both of those may be disproven. And what the media is trying to do is to deflect the story and make the story, why is Putin trying to stop Hillary? And how horrible that Russia is interfering in a U.S. election. But they're trying to sit on the real story, which is how come the Secretary of State put all of our secrets out there on a server that anybody could hack, or that the Russians could hack. She'd rather the Russians see them than the American people see them. And also, don't discount the content of those emails. They were deleted for a reason. And I think that as we will be able to look through them, the depth of her corruption will increasingly emerge. So keep that white flag and use it as a handkerchief.
I mean, listen, this is what I've been hearing for almost 2 years, this desperation out of Trump supporters. They know he can't win based upon his own merits, based upon his own talents. So hopefully there's something out there with Hillary selling stuff to the Russians or Hillary in bed with Putin. And I'm going to drop a bomb on you, Dick, that you may not want to hear. I'm going to tell you that the Democrats out there will still vote for Hillary Clinton, even if some of these things you're talking about come out there, because that's how much they despise, don't trust Donald Trump, and think that he's a complete buffoon and can't run the country. Even if it comes out, they will still vote for Hillary Clinton. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think, well, there certainly are. As Abe Lincoln said, you can fool all the people some of the time and some of the people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that certainly is a good example of that. But we're not saying that Hillary sold the emails to the Russians or anything like that. I'm saying that she handled all of our nation's basic secrets in such a way that our worst enemy could and probably did access them and is now going to publish them. And what you're also looking at, which is far worse than Benghazi, is the United States of America literally threatening war with Russia, a nuclear power, cyber war.
Just what we need.
Easily escalate into real war in order to protect.
But on one hand, you talk about Russia being our worst enemy, and then you've got your candidate out there talking about how him and Russia together are going to defeat ISIS. He likes the fact that Putin thinks he's a qualified leader. So is Donald Trump right or wrong?
I think Putin is despicable, but I think that Trump would win his respect in a way that Hillary never would. I think he regards Hillary as a total pushover, and I don't think that. I think he'd run right over her. Trump is a formidable adversary to him.
And by the way, Stalin was despicable, but we allied with Stalin because it was in our interest to defeat Hitler. Same thing with the ISIS people, and that's why Trump says we should align with a guy like Putin, and he would have his respect. You're right about that. But as far as the debate, the upcoming debate, so you say that the Russians may drop that bomb on the electorate. But what do you think Hillary Clinton? You know she has something up her sleeve. I hear talk about some explosive allegations she's going to make in the next coming days. What do you think? You used to work for the Clintons. Do you think they're going to drop something?
Yeah, I think they probably have a whole lot more women in the closet, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, so but nothing in particular. Okay, so Trump, he needs a Hail Mary pass at the debate. He has to speak on the issues. And speaking of the media, you used to work for the Clintons. You know George Stephanopoulos used to work for the Clintons. I think he's one of the worst biased guys out there. Who do you know? Who would you name in the media who are some of the worst biased people out there?
Well, the most biased is George, because
it is George.
You know, he worked for the Clintons,
right?
And he remains very close to them. And he's heavily involved, and he's constantly exchanging signals with them. You can always see that, using his position as a journalist to set things up. The guy who did what George did before George did it was Sidney Blumenthal, when he worked at the New Yorker magazine. And,
another nice guy.
And basically flacking for the Clintons. I know, because I used to work with him.
Sure.
So I think George is absolutely the worst of the worst in that regard.
A sneak.
I want to go back to what you said earlier in the conversation. Dick Morris joining us here. Always great. I'm with you. I think Trump, if he loses this, he lost it. Yes, I do believe there is a media bias. I do believe all that is true.
Justice Department.
All that nonsense. But he had a chance to win this. He had a chance to win this, and he's done nothing to help himself. He's 3 weeks before the election, and he's still talking about Paul Ryan. So when it's all said...
The idea that it's rigged is ridiculous.
Of course it's ridiculous.
There is a strong media bias, but come on. With the Internet, we have plenty of opportunity to communicate without the media, with the networks against us, and we obviously can.
Well, but see, that's my point, though, Dick.
He keeps wanting to give this election to Trump, and he keeps giving it back.
Well, that's my point. My point is if the email thing doesn't come out, which really shows that Hillary allowed Putin to get all this stuff, and he's left to his own devices the last couple of weeks, including this debate on Wednesday, can he win?
Yeah, sure he can. There's 3.5 weeks left, and any time, or 3 weeks, 3 weeks left, And anytime a candidate, if he got discipline, if he stopped saying dumb things, if he started talking aggressively about the issues, I think he's gotten past the groping. I think he's gotten past the tapes. I think he did well in the last debate. He just needs to have some discipline. And so far he's showing no signs of having learned from his mistakes.
Our guest is...
That's what scares me.
That's what scares all of us, Dick. Listen, you gave me some hope. Anyway, Dick Morris, the book is Armageddon, How Trump Can Beat Hillary. Dick Morris, thank you very much for appearing on the Bernie and Sid Show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Appreciate it. There you go. Dick Morris, ladies and gentlemen, back after this.